Detroit Lions are 3-1 after dominating the Cleveland Browns. Welcome to the latest Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast, recapping a great victory against the Cleveland Browns. The Lions were able to beat the Browns twice. The Ravens, formerly known as the Browns, on Monday Night Football, and then finishing the job this Sunday at Ford Field. Great game as always. I guess I was told the Lions offense needed time to get rolling. I guess now we know the standard is to give them a week. They just needed a week to get it going. That's fair. Now we know. I thought it was supposed to take a month to get everything rolling. No, it only took a week. 1 week of miscommunication, losing to a rival, and they got it together. Oh my goodness. The last 3 weeks have been outstanding. First quarter of the season's done. You're 3-1. And you curb stomp a team that you're better than. Shout out to Eloy, Donkey Kong, the first 100 people across 2 platforms. Thank you to Brian. Always look forward to talking. We're going to talk about over the next hour and a half. The Detroit Lions are 3-1. It's a fun time. Get your comments in. What was your reaction to curb stopping the Browns? It was great. But my God, their offense is terrible. Kevin Stefanski should be embarrassed that he's running that offense, calling the offense. Those Browns fans are going to be calling for Shedeur Sanders probably right now. It is embarrassing to run an offense like that. Oof. It's basically Jerry Jeudy, a running back, and Joe Flacco, and that's about it. And you're wasting a defense. And the Lions were able to take advantage. Jameson Williams had a bad game. And, of course, the defense suffers some injuries. We're going to talk about it all over the next hour. I'm excited. 3-1. The Lions offense figured it out, and they are able to play at a high level. Amon-Ra St. Brown is unguardable. You can't stop him. If and when he wants to run his routes, he's going to get open. The locker room had a good time. The locker room kind of cleared out pretty fast. I think everybody kind of was the end of a long week. You know what I mean? Monday Night Football. So everything was kind of crammed. The locker room cleared out pretty fast. But the staples talked. Amon-Ra, Jack Campbell, Amik Robertson. Are you concerned about the injury to Terry Arnold and his shoulder and the hamstring potentially of DJ Reed, which is going to keep him out for at least the Bengals game? But I'm excited, man. Let's have a good time. What's your reaction? Get them in. We'll share them. Can you believe what Joe Flacco said after the game, keeping it a buck? I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe Joe Flacco went to the podium and said this.
I mean, if we keeping a buck right now, we ass. So we 0-4. We have this one. We got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games, and we've yet to do anything. So we have to lock in.
Okay, that wasn't Joe Flacco, but that's pretty much in line with what Joe Flacco would have said. Keeping it a buck, we ass. That pretty much summarizes the Browns. That was courtesy of the Titans. That was their leader, Cam Ward, answering a question that I don't even know if I could have kept my composure if I would have said, so how are you feeling about your team, Cam Ward? And he's like, I want to keep it a buck. We ass. and then the reporter after goes, ass? Yeah. That offense is terrible. It was the first to 10. And the Lions, excuse me, the Lions were able to win the football game, but nobody believed in the Browns. The only thing really you can complain about is the Lions have a goal to not give up a touchdown on the first drive, and they keep doing it. They cannot stop the opponents on the opening drive. But that was it. That was it for the Browns. Braylon, you know we're going to talk about it. Yep, J-Mo had a really bad game. That's a banner already typed up here. But we'll talk about the positives before we get about J-Mo. He was in the game plan clearly, and they tried to, push through a little bit. And look, you could try those things. I'd probably half those passes where let's just see what it looks like. The Browns did not scare anybody. What's your first takeaway from the Lions' 34-10 victory against the Browns? First and foremost, special teams. Shout out to Khalif Raymond, earning your points there, going to give the football to the missus. Nice. 65-yarder, broke the game open at 24-10, made it 31-10. Jake Bates with the big kicks. Everything went smoothly. Other than, of course, your starting secondary now is in trouble. Maybe. Unfortunately, Terry and Arnold up and down again. The Browns were making plays, so every penalty he took just got declined. So I felt like the Lions understood that to have a good contest, you got to play well defensively, and they did. They made the Browns look inept offensively, which they are. The combination of the Lions pass rush, confusing the heck out of Joe Flacco, the Browns dropping the football, and Kirby Joseph with the turnover. When he gets a turnover, man, night, you're not winning. The Browns are embarrassing to offensive football. Shout out to Steve, always in. Steve Chimenti, shout out to you. Happy weekend. Shout out to Eric Taylor. I met him at Ford Field. Nice individual. Got to see the Lions and the Browns. You know what he had the nerve to tell me? We'll keep it between us. But it was very funny. I've heard it before. Shout out to Eric. If you're listening or if you're going to listen to this, it was a pleasure to meet you. Take a photo. It was very nice that you messaged and said, hey, I'm at Ford Field. He messaged me a couple weeks ago. It was like, I'm going to the Browns game. I'd love a chance just to say hi and say I appreciate the work you do on Crunch Time, sharing information. You riled it up with Dan Campbell, but I appreciate your efforts. That's the nicest thing you can do is to just message and say, hey, let's meet up and let's say hello. That was very nice. It was a fun interaction today. But, oh, my God, I walked through the stands. I walked among you commoners. I came down from the media perch, from my royal throne on the 7th floor, and I walked amongst the people, and I forgot how cramped it was. It's been like 2 years since I walked. No, I'm just kidding. I've walked through the stands before, but it's been about a year. Wow. Miss Sheila, build a new stadium. Listen, I don't want to be rude, but we some big-ass people in Michigan, and I was walking like this. Like through the section 200, 300, I was like, oh my God, it was 12:25. I couldn't get through. I saw a couple of people, saw a couple content creators. We said hello. I couldn't get my way through there. Luckily, I'm short. I can, Jahmyr Gibbs my way through everything. Holy cow. Miss Sheila, please expand the hallways. Sheesh. I'm a regular 5'4" individual. Some of these dudes are 6'2", 350. I was cramped in that hallway, but I came down from my perch and said hello to the commoners. I kid. Anytime for any fan. That was awesome. What's your biggest takeaway from the game? Lions defense. First of all, you got to start with the basics. Are the Browns that bad? Or the Lions showed out and really balled out offensively? They balled out without Jamo doing anything. The reason why Jamo stunk it today, because he's on my fantasy team. And I don't know, I was debating Jamo at home or Jacoby Myers. So I haven't looked at what Jacoby Myers did, but I'm sure Jacoby Myers has 10 catches for 100 yards. You guys can fill me in. What's Jacoby Myers' stat line? Steve, I'm playing Adam in fantasy this week. I hope I whoop his ass. I'm doing okay in my fantasy league. What is your takeaway from the Lions 34-10? What's your sentence to describe what I just watched? That was fun. That was fun as heck. First of all, smash the like button. That helps the algorithm grow, helps the thousands. I'm also now doing shorts, as you guys have asked me. Please cut up the clips and make them shorter. That's what I have done. I'm putting in more time to hit the edit button. I like that. That's kind of fun. The edit button is always fun to chop up the words and then make them into interesting 30-minute clips. Oh, good. Thanks, Braylon. That's nothing. That's still better than Jamo. That's 7 points. Jamo got what, 2 catches? So, see, still a mistake, Braylon. Great. It was fun. It was a great experience. Got to meet Eric Taylor. Got to walk amongst the peoples. Y'all were happy. Mostly in the blue. Sprinkle of black jerseys. Mostly you guys like the blue. I agree. Blue should be the color. Black, it's cool, but it's blue. We're the Honolulu Blue. Xavier gets in. His thoughts, his takeaway. Shout out to Xavier. Appreciate you always. Hey, Doc, defense and special teams were elite. No doubt. Anakin with the excuses. We're not making any judgments. They won the game. Anakin, everyone has a bad game. Jamo had a really bad game. He should be fine. I agree. But that one kind of felt like it was forced a little bit. The last 3 targets felt a little forced. It just wasn't working. It just goes to show you that throwing those deep balls can be tough. So first and foremost, let's reset. Why were we so tough on the Lions after a week 1 loss? Because I think many of you agree with me now that you see it. Most of you believed that what this offense could do the last 3 weeks could have been done week 1. That's why the whole world came down hard on the Lions, in my humble opinion. That it doesn't take time. When you have talent like that, hit the ground running and handle your business. But week 1, they just started slow. They're allowed to have it. But I think that it's not an overreaction. If you really look at it clinically and logically, most people believed that the Lions offense could do this, what they've done against the Bears, the Ravens, and the Browns. They felt like they could do it against the Packers. I did. So the Johnny Morton is taking advantage of what he's got. Good. I mean, this offense is looking better than it was last year. Amon-Ra is better. Jameer's faster. The offensive line is blocking. There's a commitment to blocking. Sam Laporta got better at blocking. Penei Sewell is just a legend. And Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany are just going to get more and more comfortable. So they get a pass. But I don't get mad at anybody that reacted strongly to week 1. Now, I don't think you were going to formulate conclusions. Remember, after week 1, I said, this offense will be run fine. Don't worry. But it was bad. That once John Morton ran the John Morton, Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell offense, life would be good. Life is good. Everybody's happy. The Lions handled Myles Garrett to the degree that Jared Goff was not sacked. He was bothered, but not sacked. 3 straight games, no sack. Interesting from the Keys to Wisdom. You just cannot call Jamo's number like was done today, trying to make him the main course. That was Megatron's series of calls for Jamo, and he ain't no Megatron. I know it's going to be a focus. We're going to talk about Jamo. But let's talk about the game. We'll get to Jamo. He is 2, 3, 4. Did I even write that he had a bad game? Oh, look at that. I wanted to be positive. I didn't even make the banner for Jamo. I'll do that right now. Jamo has a bad game. I didn't even make it the first 5 topics. That's how much I wanted to keep it positive. He's a dud for today. That's clear from our studs and duds list. Was that Jamo's worst game? It was pretty bad. That's kind of the games what we saw today is kind of what we describe as a bad practice. He dropped the ball. They try to get so now you have a reference point that when Doc says Jamo didn't have a good practice, it kind of looks like that. Dropping the ball, they're trying to connect with them. It doesn't happen. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's a bad practice. So now you have a reference point. But let's keep it positive. We'll get to Jamo, I promise. First takeaway, 3rd straight game, franchise record. They do not, if you give Jared Goff time, like I told Crunch Time, keep him clean. Jared Goff is mean. He'll take care of business. And he found Amon-Ra St. Brown. The run game was okay. And they methodically moved up and down the field. That's all they need to do. Got an extra possession with Kirby Joseph. DJ Reed. Give them prime. Give them prime field position, and you're really good. So that's the goal. Got a message in the comment about the audio. Is it rough? I got all the wires connected. Am I too hot? Too hot to handle? Or is it on the commenter side? I feel like I'm hearing myself well in my bud here. Maybe not. Oh, it's my first time in a couple days. I've been having a little bit of a laryngitis situation. I'm on the other end of it. It could be my voice. I'm coming out the other side of a lot of visits psychologically, a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews. And that Baltimore trip was crazy. But if my audio is bad, let me know. I'll tinker around, take out the mic and put it back. But first and foremost, if Jared Goff is given time, you're going to have a winning football team that maybe could win another 13, 14 games. Look at that. You know, it might be tougher now with the secondary against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but your offense is going to keep you in a lot of games. I'm very happy. I talked to Taylor Decker. He's like, look, it's not just the offensive line. It's not just the offensive line. It's the whole commitment of the offense to block and to play together. Taylor Decker said it's not just us. It's the commitment of the running backs, the wide receivers blocking, and it's amazing. What a beautiful opportunity. What a beautiful opportunity it is to get to 4-1 next week. Listen, I'm no doctor. I'm not allowed to speculate. I could tell you what I think, but it's unfortunate that that's the rule that I'm certain I can't just go over the airway and say. But you can ask the question. So do you think DJ Reed is a grade 2 or grade 3 strain? Grade 3 is season ending. Well, let's look at the simple clues factually. I believe that if DJ Reed had a season ender and he knew it, he's not going on Twitter. He's been on X saying, this is God. This is what I like. He's been praising his interception. I feel like if it was a devastating injury to the point where he wouldn't be back, I feel like he wouldn't go on X. But that's just me. I cannot tell you grade 2, grade 3. We know now that Dan Campbell said, per his words, no Bengals. So that's 1 week at least. But hamstrings are nagging. That's a horrible injury for a defensive back. It's going to be an issue. I foreshadow at least a signing. You're going to go with what? You're going to go with Rocky Sin and Amik Robertson and Khalil Dorsey against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? I mean, that's a little tough. You hope. We'll find out more tomorrow. Dan, I'll say, let's just say I can't tell you when he talks tomorrow, but, you know, peace to all you guys. When Dan talks tomorrow, peace. When he talks tomorrow, we'll know more. He did. I think, well, he was carted off pretty fast. It's typically, you don't see that, but I didn't see him anywhere in the locker room. So you'll know tomorrow, or maybe sooner. With his caliber, I'm sure some info will get out. I hope it's not season ending. Well, Kirby finished the game, and he was talking his junk in the locker room, so it seems like he's good. It was a knee situation. I mean, he's been battling something with his knee. I hope he's okay. He missed time in camp. So we'll see. He finished the game. He was in good spirits. Normal Kirby self. He was joking. If you check out our Twitter page at Detroit Podcast, he's yelling, Amon-Ra. We're all waiting to talk to Amon-Ra. And Kirby yells out, there's a new debate. Everybody wants to know if I got as good as hands as you. And you could just tell that Kirby talks a lot of junk to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra was like, Kirby, man. And he looked at all of us. He's like, Kirby, man, you silly. So I asked Amon-Ra. I said, hey, Kirby wants to know, does Kirby who has better hands, Kirby Joseph or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Amon-Ra's like, man, that guy just finds that football. That football just finds him. Right, it does suck, Keys. Sucks that we finally got the cornerback interception, and then he goes out. Carted off fast. And they showed it, too. He was like, it was literally like a calf hamstring injury. When you tear it, you just go right down. I strained my calf once. That's exactly, felt like you get shot in the back of the leg, and you just go down. So I'm hoping it's going to be okay, but hamstrings are nagging injuries. Those and they hopefully don't reappear at the worst time. But back to the offensive line, Taylor Decker handled his business against Myles Garrett. Penei Sewell opened up the lanes, and you're watching right now Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany grow right in front of you. Some things to clean up still. They had a series where back-to-back Brock Wright and Taylor Decker false starts. that derailed the drive. But I mean, the Browns are so bad. You could play a B+, B- game and beat them 34-10. That's how bad offensive. That's why I think it was over 90% of people. That's why the Lions was 34. The Lions were 10-point favorites, 9-10 points, and you could have had them at 15, and they still shoosh. I think they were saying that it was kind of like a little bit of a pointer. I think he got hit pointer or something like that. He had something where he felt it and got back up. That's why he hit it, because he felt a little stinging pain, but it's all good. All good. Aiden's all good. It's going to be sore. That's why the locker room cleared out. Monday to Sundays they want to get home and get their rest. And then he talked to the media. So nothing serious on Aiden. I think the injury updates that were clear were Terry Arnold and Amon-Ra and Terry Arnold and DJ Reed. Yeah, everybody saw when it went down. When he went down, it was quiet as a mouse. But because he hit the turf a little bit, people thought it was serious, but it's not. He's fine. Football play. Tough man. He'll be fine. Silent as a mouse. Yeah, and it is true. The injuries that are piling up are happening on the defensive side of the football. It's craziness on defense. But again, if you are an offensive line that blocks that well and the wide receivers have committed to blocking, John Morton said when he talked to reporters, the best blocking he's seen from an offense in his 28 years coaching. They're fully bought in. From Khalif Raymond to Jameson Williams. Last week, he's like, I don't even have to get the ball. I'll block. Because they love Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They want them to eat. 3 straight games, Goff is clean. But yeah, some of those. But you saw the one where the ball was to the left and J-Mo was going early in the game, that Jared Goff had pressure. You got to remember those kind of plays. If Jared Goff is pressured, you won't find anybody. You got to credit 14 every time we talk. Make sure, smash the like button for St. Brown. Let's get to at least 200 likes. There's 300 people in here across 2 platforms. X, make sure you hit the retweet. Let people know we're talking, having a good time, sharing some laughs. Real fast, obviously, the Tigers are going to play the Cleveland Guardians on the road. Not a fan. Biggins writes in, the funny thing is everyone gave Joe Flacco all the credit in the world 2 years ago for playing like the last 5 games of the season for the Browns and taking them into the playoffs when he had 8 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in those 5 games. IIRC. Listen, man, he's a veteran. He's a backup. He's a real solid backup, but he's not with it right now. He ain't with it. You got to spice it up. You got to go to Shedeur. Just develop or get Dylan Gabriel. You got to go somebody else. That offense is putrid. There's no momentum. They don't move the ball. Jerry Jeudy's being wasted. You have a running back. They got nothing. Woof. Smash the like button for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hit that notification bell. So the 1 or 2 times a week, maybe 3, that we go live, you can join, interact, share your thoughts with the world. Amon-Ra St. Brown should be the focal point of this offense. Early on, he wasn't, and the Lions didn't score. Once he got that momentum play, I think the second drive, that explosive play, there they went. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the engine. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the magic elixir to this offense. You run it through Amon-Ra, all will be great. St. Brown always delivers. UPS. Always delivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Whether it be a podcast, in game. 2 touchdowns today. What one word would you use to describe JMO? Excuse me. What one word would you use to describe Amon-Ra St. Brown? I'm just going to say unstoppable. Kevin, what can Brown do for you? Everything. The keys to wisdom. Sun God is the main dish. Go to him all day, every day, in every way. Nick P says elite. Anakin, reliable. Facts. Yeah, you're right, Nick. It just felt like today wasn't the day. It just wasn't going to happen. That's too good a defense, right? But I think you just do it to continue to open it up. There was only one bad interception because of it. So that's fine. Steve, pretty soon. You know, me and Vito's schedules are always misaligned, but we'll have conversations. We'll tape it and air it for you guys. But to make fun of Vito, Vito's running, 25 meg internet. My staff is running combined 100 meg combined. I'm like, guys, we got to be running 1 terabyte minimum. This is the internet age. I got right now, to give you the gear check, I'm using a onstage microphone stand. I'm using a Rode microphone. I'm using a Lenovo computer and a 4K camera. And I've messaged these guys. I'm like, you got to upgrade your system, your stuff. Vito can, but he might cut out. Like, we'll be talking and he'll just disappear. Vito's got the 50 meg, the 50 meg internet. Send him a video. It takes him 4 hours to upload it. Like, Vito, stop saving. Spend a little bit on some video and some lights. And I have a light stand here. What do you think? I'm just going to show up here and look all discombobulated. We got the good stuff here. Next to me, I have a 5-year-old 1402 VLZ mixer, a couple of sound gadgets over here. We got the good stuff here at the office. But at today's vibe, though, it was me, though. The tailgating seemed lighter. It didn't seem like you guys were interested. Was everybody like hungover from something? Did all 100,000 of you go to the, was it Luke Bryan concert, or you guys go to Ann Arbor and just chill at home? Like, I got it. I left late today. I was even late. Typically, I'm at Ford Field's parking lot where they put me by like 9:30. I didn't get there till like 10:45. I was taking my sweet time. And it didn't, there was no traffic. Everything ran smooth for the most part. But I will say I'm sensing that other reporters get better benefits than I do. I believe that some of these reporters are getting parking way closer than me. But that's okay. I'm thankful. Oh, and I want to thank you guys, the fans, first and foremost. Let's have a quick 2-minute laugh sidebar. Because of where they send me to a park, I take a shuttle, they drop me off, and I got about a 3-block walk to get inside the facility. And for the last 3 weeks, it's either a group of guys see my badge, or today was a group of ladies, and they were like, oh, and they feel like I'm a reporter. So if you know, to share, if you know Ford Field, there is 2 parking lots like right across the street from Ford Field. I feel like some of my peeps are holed up there. But that's fine. Listen, it's a give and take. I don't want to ask because I'll inevitably just get all in my feelings about it. They travel full time. They're different standards than me. But if I knew that they parked at the Tigers parking lot, I'd just be like, gosh, I'd grit my teeth a little bit. But they've been leaving clues. Like, you got to keep it a secret because you got me far away. So I got a 3-block walk. They see my badge and I'm approachable. They're all like, hey, baby. Today was the ladies. Hey, baby, you got a pass? I said, yeah. They're like, can you get me one? And I started laughing. I said, ladies. I said, I write about the Lions and I'm a little bit critical. I can't get a second pass. I would love to. But I go, my mom, my brother-in-law, my nephew, they all want passes too. They're like, I can't get a second media badge. I'm trying. And they said, but find us. I said, no problem, ladies. We shared a laugh. So for the last 3 weeks, walking to Ford Field, the preseason game, the home opener, and today, y'all liking my badge as I'm walking down the street. I said, no problem, ladies. I'll hook you up. But I said the Lions are never going to give me a second badge ever in the history of Everdom. Were they? Yeah. We think I'm going to stop? I wouldn't have stopped. No, listen, I'm kidding. They were nice ladies, very friendly, big smiles, Lions fans. And they see me. Typically, if you see me walking, I'm either going to be just kind of in my phone or have a smile on my face, kind of laughing a little bit to myself because I'm thinking stupid things in my head. But it was 2 ladies. And they're like, get us some passes. Like, guys, I cannot get you passes to be in the media. Like, you got to get, like, background checks. Like, it's not like I go, hey, Lions, hook me up with 3 tickets, and they just give them to me. And then, luckily, you guys are getting smart. You all getting smart. You know what they told me? Right to my face. They said, come on, baby. Write some nice things about the Lions and get those badges. Come on, baby. Just write. They like they know more than I do. They're like, come on, baby. Stop with the criticism. Stop with the up and down bipolar fan behavior. Write nice things so we can get our badges. I think I'm going about my media career all wrong. But I love it. I love the fan interactions. You guys are nice, shouting out my name as I'm walking, telling me to behave myself with Dan Campbell. I appreciate that. That's real nice. But I cannot get you passes. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. Now I have 2 ladies that want them first. And they'll if I ever got a free media badge, I'll just give it to them. I'm sorry. I can't get you in. And then it hurts my feelings too, because I know you're not reading me. Because if you read my work, you realize the Lions would never in a million years give me a second badge. Do you read what I'm writing? Oh man, it was fun. Thank you guys. It's a lighthearted moment at 11 o'clock in the morning, sharing a laugh with all you guys out there. The Browns fans kind of showed out, but yeah, it felt like to me a quieter vibe. Walking through, it was a little bit packed right around 12:30 in the corridors there with all the food and all that stuff. But getting out I got out an hour after the game and it was no traffic. Jefferson was fine. I got out to Jefferson from the parking lot within a minute and got to 75 and there was no traffic. Oh no, Bears got 2 in a row. Don't let the Bears get hot. Oh God. Better than your best. Put them to the test. Yeah, keep me posted on what's going on in these afternoon games. Who's been winning, what's been going on. But Amon-Ra, we have to give him credit. Amon-Ra St. Brown is unstoppable. And it's nice to watch. Just a guy that you say, okay, go out there. The connection's strong. You hope eventually one day it's like that with JMO, where just every single day, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, they just connect and just do those things. Because I feel like JMO's not wide receiver 2 yet. He's like wide receiver 2.6. Like Gibbs, Laporta. Like JMO's a deep threat, but he's not. Like I feel like they got to get him involved consistently in some intermediate routes. So Bears got 2 wins. Ugh. Goes to show you too. You got to respect Jared Goff too, because the Vikings are so dumb. They went to J.J. McCarthy. That was a disaster. They enjoyed the Carson Wentz 1 week boost, and then today was terrible. Throws that interception late. Carson Wentz is a Band-Aid. A true Band-Aid. You literally had your piece in Sam Darnold. You're supposed to add around Sam Darnold. Even if you believe you have a ceiling of maybe just the playoffs, that's pretty good. You think, I feel like Sam Darnold would have been a great mentor for J.J. McCarthy for 2-3 years. But what word would you use to describe Amon-Ra St. Brown? Let's give him his flowers. But, also Khalif Raymond and that 65-yard touchdown to the house, his 3rd in a Lions uniform, 4th most in Lions history. Amazing. But, unfortunately, clearly the Lions in our first 35 minutes, we know what was positive. They handled their business defensively. They made a bad offense look bad. But my goodness, did we have to deal with injuries like this? First of all, Kirby went down. And it took me and Christian a little bit of time to get some of those injuries up there because we want to make it good, quality over speed. So we got it up there, and then 10 minutes later, he was back in the game. And then my colleagues had it up like 10 minutes sooner. So they got it for 20 minutes. We got it for 10. But Kirby left the game, and he came back, thankfully. St. Brown is Goff's pinky. B's 9. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I run this shit, partner. Simple as that. No fine. You don't get fined for saying partner into the camera. I run this shit, partner. What was all the fuss about? Just the P word. So, look, man, from the replays, it kind of looked like the ball was doing a little wobbling from DJ Reed, but give it to him. Give it to him. He earned it, got the return, and helped out. DJ Reed earned it, but then he goes out with a hamstring injury. It was bad, too. It looked like he got, like, his leg, it looked like a bad strain. And you don't typically see somebody with a hamstring injury get carted off. You don't really see that too often. I've never seen that. Typically, you walk it off and it's painful and you're hobbling, but that one was bad, that he was down and writhing in pain, and the cart came out within 2 seconds. I saw that right in my field of vision. I saw him go down, I saw him push, and yikes. Yeah, and also, too, if you're following along, I tweet during the game at Detroit Podcast. Our vantage point, excuse me, is really bad. So sometimes you got to watch TV. The vantage point that we got against the Ravens was beautiful. So you guys were like, did you know that Goff was pressured when he threw that ball to J-Mo? Yeah, but, I'm trying to tweet live. So just be forgiving. You guys have a better vantage point sometimes than me. So just say, hey, reminder, yeah, it was incomplete, but Goff was pressured. Don't be so judgmental. I got a bad seat. I got the worst seat in the house. 7th floor up. Got to watch TV. But you appreciate it. You got a free ticket for the most part. So be respectful. You guys are a little bit judgmental. Did you know that Goff was pressured? Yeah, but still, the way the throw was, J-Mo's so fast, he was well gone from Goff's toss in one of those where he was pressured. Yeah, Nick P's right. They got the cart on demand. The cart is per use. He's like, yep, got to get my third. Got to get my third. Oh, someone just got an 88-yard touchdown. The alert came. Check my fantasy here real fast as well. I'm playing Adam, and he had Stafford. I hope he didn't have a great second half. I left Penix on the bench. Ooh. Man. Stafford at 41. Wow. And he still got A-Chain left. Wow. I got Prescott, Dobbins, Garrett Wilson, and Nick Folk. And Adam's beating me 129-87. Ugh. Might be facing my first loss to Adam. Stafford, 41. He had Egbuka, 24. T. Warren, 18. I had Jefferson with 23, Cook with 23. So basically, if I get 30 out of, if I get Prescott, I got a shot. Darn you, Adam. Yeah, Goff's audible into that last touchdown was elite. Sure was. He's been playing at a very, very, very high level. Tyrion goes down, and quite frankly, he's got to sit more. I thought Amik, if you give him a chance, has a chance just to be a little bit more consistent right now. Tyrion's good against the run, but it's just too up and down, too many penalties. And the Browns were making plays. They just kept declining them. I mean, it stinks because Branch and Alien, sorry. I'll say Branch, I'm reading the headline that my writer wrote. Hutch is an alien. So I said, Branch and Alien. the latest article came out with what people are saying about the game. A lot of people are calling Hutch an alien. That's awesome. Just going to post it here real fast. Lions fans react to win. Hutch is an alien. I love it. Christian does good work. Make sure you give it a read. Get a feel of the reactions. That's awesome. Good headline from Christian. Hutch is an alien. Yeah, when he went down, the stadium was like a pin drop. A pin drop. So now you got to go with Amik and Rock Ya-Sin and Khalil Dorsey. I don't know. I think there's a chance Terrion plays, but it's a question mark right now. We'll know more tomorrow. But man, do you guys trust if Terrion plays that he can step up against Higgins or Jamar Chase? Oh my goodness, keys to wisdom. A name from the past. Contact the Bucks about Vildor. No. How about nah? Samuel, maybe? I don't know if he's still an option. What are the options out there that you would like? You know, Rock Ya-Sin. Do you try Branch? Amik? You got Kirby and Avonte Maddox if Kirby's healthy. You got some options, but you're gonna have to, you know, that was your starting corners. Jesus. The defense, you really know they must be battling that offense daily in those practices. They are coming out punished. They are punished. Are you concerned at all about that? That the injuries are one-sided? Nick P says Fuller. Keys to wisdom. Vilder was always ready to play, never failed us. Bees, TA will improve. Some of those ref calls were BS. Yeah, but now he's not getting the respect. That's what sucks. I mean, Branch's call today wiped out a nice play. Wiped out the touchdown, right? Am I right? Am I tying those two together right? It wiped out, you know, these penalties are wiping out plays that are impactful. So, are you confident in Terrion Arnold in what you saw today? Man, it's tough. It's tough. I do trust Amik Robertson. He gave up a play, made a play. That's what you're going to get. He's going to give up plays, but he's going to compete and make some other plays. He kind of balances it out. And if you give him more time, I feel like you'll get his full potential, but he's getting the stop and start treatment. Amik Robertson. Khalil Dorsey. Avonte Maddox. Ryan Branch. It's just going to take time, but Terrion Arnold's not afforded time. They're being polite. They basically want to cut his playing time to see more Amik Robertson. They're being polite. A lot of you guys are saying Terrion will be better at safety. Nickel, Ghetto Boy Juan gets in. Terrion will be better at safety. What do you guys think about the secondary? I thought that, you know, for the most part, you know, the coverage was pretty good and the pass rush was there. Aiden got a sack now, I think third straight game. But you're not going to have DJ Reed against the Bengals. And remember, too, I went right from the Ford Field right here. So if anything is not exactly accurate, please hit it in the comments. But I haven't surveyed the whole internet landscape. You know what I mean? But I did read what Christian wrote and what Vito wrote, that DJ Reed, and what Dan Campbell said was DJ Reed for sure is not going to be there for the Bengals. He would be surprised. So you're down your 1A cornerback against two good receivers on the road. I'm a little concerned. Jamar Chase can be a game wrecker on his own. T. Higgins as well. Problem is they don't got nobody throwing it to him. Browning, what happened with the Bengals today? Have they played yet? I haven't surveyed the NFL landscape too much. Yeah, of course. Bengals QBs are still out. No Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow was there, I was going to make the trip to Cincy. I would have drove. Now I'm staying home. 400 people across 2 platforms. Smash that like button. I appreciate y'all. Got about 10, 15 more minutes. What's your reaction to the game? What's your reaction to the injuries? No DJ Reed. What's the best solution in your mind? Let me know. I think if Terrion's there, you go Terrion Amik, and you mix in Rock Ya-Sin at times. And if there's a practice, let me check the roster here on the practice squad. Is there anybody that I'm seeing in terms of the name that has caught my attention when I'm reading and writing about practice? We shall see. Do they go outside the organization for a corner this week? I'm sure you probably will get one report of some workouts, maybe even tomorrow, of who comes to town. And also, too, because Brian Branch, he's getting so much attention, he's getting fined every week. $10,000 fine for a low hit yet last week. So on the practice squad, in terms of DBs, Eric Hall at the safety, and Lauren Strickland the safety. That would be it. So you're going to have to go outside the organization. You got safeties galore. You're going to have to. Daniel Thomas, he went on IR. Yeah. You are light in the depth department. Thank you, Nick. Exactly. See? I can still put the plays together, the sequencing. Branch cost 8 and another strip sack. He sure did. That was the one where it was picked up by Trevor, and then I wanted to see that Jack Campbell dance count. Am I right? Sorry, when with all the plays that happen, you guys got to remember what I'm doing is I'm watching the game, taking notes, writing, and preparing this show. So it's a lot going on. So the sequencing sometimes gets out of whack. But the facts are there, just the sequencing. But yeah, Branch cost 8 another strip sack. There you go. Too much, too many mistakes. Branch is, for all the good he's doing, he's also coming with some little bit of a headache with all these flags against him. Now that's the question. DM5 TV, what do we do at corner if both starters are out? Amik is going to be there. They trust him. They like him. He'll play. Do you go with Dorsey? Do you go with Rock Ya-Sin? Man, I think that they would have to go get somebody. Start looking at those practice squads. I'm sure, because we have so much content tomorrow, I don't even know if we have time to write 5 corners the Lions could sign. You guys want us to? I'll assign it. Do you want to know which corners the Lions would fit here? I feel like I want to know, right? See, the problem is we got to wait until Dan Campbell talks about Terrion. I feel like Terrion's going to play. All right. So what will happen then is if we get more of a sense of Terrion's future tomorrow from Dan Campbell, if it's good, if I get a read on it, then tomorrow evening, well, you know what? Let's make these people work, right? Let's make them work. First of all, let's see if my friendly competitor there has already written it. Huh. Nobody's written it yet, just yet. Oh, that's good. Putting my guys to work right now. How many you want? 5, 6? I'll get 5, 6. I'll get my guys to work together. So I'm actually live programming the website right now. Send cornerbacks. There. I'm telling you guys in the competition live, we have a story for tomorrow. Hopefully. I mean, it might come out later because we got grades and reactions and PFF, and there's just so much on Monday that makes you not shave. No, I think Shaq signed somewhere. Yeah, he might be on a practice squad. Yeah, maybe. I think I saw that he did hit somebody. Honolulu Flu hits everybody. Right? 1-3. But their defense was not good, not up to par. The keys to wisdom. Branch can go to the slot if you can get a safety better than the other cornerback who you would use in the slot. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have Avonte Maddox. They like him. They, at least publicly, Alex Anzalone at Detroit Podcast shared what he thought. He felt comfortable seeing Avonte out there. Well, I know one thing from Beast 9. The Lions and Brad have a list of cornerbacks to call lined up. Yeah, they sure do. Yeah, that's funny. Bees, shout out to you. Shout out to the 400 people listening in on a Sunday. Again, thank you. I would love to go long, but yeah, that Monday week hit me too. Yeah. I'm sure that's going to be a story. Somebody's going to write that for sure. Did they really say that? Oh, that's really credit to that is a credit to Steve Spagnuolo, who's a genius, and to Calvin Shepard. Darn flights thing got me sick. I feel good, but this darn sore throat's killing me. Man. That's right. Grinding here. Oh, my goodness. Attila the Hun. Do we bring him back? Maybe. Woo! That'd be some spice. Gold standard. That's awesome. If you taped it, if you just heard it and you can rewind it, DM me at Detroit Podcast. I'd love to. I'll probably write that tomorrow. That's slick. That's awesome. Send it to me at Detroit Podcast. I'll give you credit. Bees 9. Please, 35 likes. Let's get to at least 50, 100. Smash that like button. For me battling laryngitis and all the podcasts I did this week. I'll tell you, the Dayquil hit good this morning, but I couldn't take it every 4 hours. Yeah, the tape's out there. Calvin Shepard, when you do that to Lamar, people notice. Yeah, if any of you are listening saw it, what the announcer said about the KC game, message at Detroit Podcast. Let's trade Tyrion Arnold for Sauce Gardner. Back in my younger days, I could try to figure out a way to create that, but I don't think that would ever happen. Is Tyrion Arnold at the level of Sauce Gardner? Not anymore. How concerned are you, scale of 1 to 10, about the Bengals game? Tyrion Arnold injures his shoulder. What did you guys think of his benching for the most part? It wasn't benching. He's still playing, but he's getting less snaps. Amik's getting a little bit more. It's a nice way of saying we like you, but we need you to play a little bit less because somebody else could benefit us a little bit more when they're in too. So Tyrion's not a full 100% not leave the field guy just yet. And they said, because they play so much base, they were not seeing Amik play. They want him to play. It's just tough. It's a tough position, and he's getting beat. He's getting targeted. Teams are they're not respecting the line secondary as much as I thought they would. Jerry Jeudy got off a little bit early. Now, the Browns are a test that you can get by with playing like that. The Bengals and other teams in the AFC, they could be punished. I'm a little bit concerned about Tyrion's growth in terms of the speed at which he's developing. I think he'll develop, but I just think he needs to develop a little bit faster for what the Lions fans are looking for. And then finally, it was bad from Jameson Williams. Whew. That was one of the ones where you could see that the game plan was loosen up the defense by throwing it deep. They ran him out there. And every time he got some looks, they tried it. It just never connected. That was just one of those oil and water kind of days for Goff and Jamo. They just couldn't sync up. Now, that, in essence, what you saw there was when we would write at training camp practice that it was not good. That's kind of what it looked like. He dropped balls, they tried passes, and it wouldn't happen. And then there were other days where it was magic. Oh, it's magic. But today was not magic. Jamo had a bad game. How concerned are you? The connection with Goff and St. Brown is legendary. The connection with Jamo, a little bit more inconsistent. I felt like they should have involved Jamo in a little bit more underneath stuff, end arounds, use his speed. Like, we know he's a deep threat, but I feel like you can't just pigeonhole him to that only. Like, can he go around the middle, find an open seam in the zone and stop? There's more to receiving than running go routes. And there's slants, comebacks, digs. Dan, is it feasible that Jamo can run routes more than just deep? What happened to Jamo's route tree? Is it possible that is it feasible that Jamo could run the same routes he did against the Bears? Is theoretically, why didn't Jamo have a good game? One, there was some pressure on some of the throws. He dropped one that was in the breadbasket. That was on him. And it was just the full combination. The secondary of the Browns was into it. They closed when they needed to. Jamo had drops. The pressure got there. The Browns defense is pretty good. So the byproduct is Jamo, no love today. Woo, that was bad. But I feel like in those instances when you realize the chemistry's not there, send one to Tesla. Send one out to somebody else. Like, Jamo can't be your only deep option. Create a route for Jamo in the middle of the field. Slants, screens, handoffs. Hell, today let Jamo throw one. Maybe they could have made up for the Washington game. 2 catches on 8 targets. That's not going to cut it. Dan, do you think if you used more pre-snap motion with JMO, he could have got open? Dan, is it possible that JMO can have the same routes as Amon-Ra? Is it feasible that Jameson Williams can be Amon-Ra? Is it theoretically possible that one day these two can just be the same guy? You know, Dan, the outsiders are calling St. Brown just a slot merchant. Can he run some deep routes? I'm not asking that. After wins, I don't even know this week what I'm asking. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be about the penalties, some of the undisciplined stuff. Would you trade Terry and Arnold for Denzel Ward? We want something back, too. Terry on for Denzel Ward in the third. I kid. I know Terrion's worth. Terry on for Denzel Ward straight up. Is there a drag route for JMO in the playbook, Mr. John Morton? I don't want to talk about he actually this week introed it that way. He said, I don't want to talk about the past game anymore. On to the Browns. That's how John Morton introed his talk this week. Stephen David, shout out to you. 3-1, baby. 3-1. That's right. That's why we were so frustrated, because everybody thought that offense could shine right away. I did. That's why we all lost our cool. Like, wait a minute. That offense can do this right now. Well, I was told it's supposed to take time. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Now you just showed everybody. Oops, Lions. You just told on yourselves. You can run your offense in the first week of the season. You did it against the Bears. You did it against the Ravens. You did it against the Browns. But we now know you get 1 week pass from now on. 1. For your miscommunications, to forget about your emotions. You get a week. Because now we know you can pick it back up real fast with this offense. 1 week, you're allowed. We've set the standard. Are you guys worried about the Bengals? I just feel like it's going to be treated as a one-off bad game for JMO and Goff. Right now, I'm sipping on, Steven. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with a little bit of the fallout of laryngitis. I'm sipping on Dayquil. And I'm going to go home, rest, get some more sleep, and get after it this week for the week. The Baltimore trip took it out of me. I'm not a young cat anymore. Going hard like that took it out of me. I'm not sick per se. Like, from here down, I'm great. From here up, ugh. Working on it. JMO had a bad game. I feel like it's just a one-off, but it's just bad. It can't be that bad. Dayquil tequila for the doc. Phil, smash the like button for the doc. Still going live. Wore the F out. But I feel good. I feel energized. I could go another 2 hours, but the voice is just as scratchy right here. Right here. You can feel it. A lot of talking, a lot of podcasting, a lot of therapy sessions, a lot of talk. And Phil and Steven, you missed a funny story. Every time I walk to the stadium from the far away parking lot they send me to, the fans are asking for free tickets from the doc and his media badge. And I never turn anybody down. But these were ladies. I should have been like, listen, ladies, yes, I can get you a media pass. Come to my office. It's in Sterling Heights. Come to my lab. Let's have a conversation. Be like, Mr. Macaroon, it is explicitly in your media pass. You cannot ask for additional media badges to get dates. But they asked me. They came up to me. They accosted me. They said, oh, You have a badge? I said, yeah. You want to get us in? I said, I would love to, but they won't let it happen. I said, I've been trying to get a second badge for 2 years, and I've gotten the big fat rejection. I said, did you read this stuff I wrote? Did you see what I asked Dan Campbell? Now I'm like I was 9th on the list. Now I'm 99th on the list. They're like, we're going to let all these 50 other podcasters get a badge, all these 9 other TV stations, Battle Creek TV, Warren TV, CBS Detroit. We need like 5 more. You and your site, even though it's number 1, 2 in the world, no, we're just going to leave it at you. We can only handle you. I so want to send them my numbers. I just really do. But they're confidential. I can't just do you know how many people are actually reading this? Do you know? But it's confidential. I cannot just be like, it's a lot. Right, exactly. 2 lone wolf. You're right. But it's tempting when the ladies come up to you and are like, can I get a badge? What are you supposed to say to that? No. I got to be professional. Well, I said my family all wants one too. It doesn't work like that. So this is another PSA, a 2-minute PSA in this hour talk. Doc can't get more badges. 1, it's allocated to me. And that's probably going to get yanked too. They're going to look at it this year and be like, do we really need this guy? This independent media. He has some good questions every once in a while. Oh, that was funny. That's still a highlight of my day. Can you get us a badge? Be like, listen, if you give me your number, I'll think about it. I have not breached standards yet. Man, these Lions fans are good looking. I never thought a media badge would get people to talk to me on the street of Detroit. Smash that like button. I hope you laughed. Hope you got a little bit of entertainment. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I want to watch some football for fun. What's this? I don't even know. What's the Sunday night game? If it's really bad, I'll stay for 5 more minutes. Any last minute questions? Any super chat, super thanks? They're open. 70 minutes to recap a fun game. Lions are 3-1. Fun time. Biggest takeaways are the Lions defense, when they want to clamp down, can do it. When they face a bad offense and a good defense, they still can play well. The Lions have a lot of good talent at home. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams can have a bad game. Amon-Ra, that offense is clicking. You block for Goff, you win. Thank you, Xavier. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the lightheartedness. Yeah, I got to watch that. Because I got come on, Dak. I need a good game, Dak. Please be motivated, Dak. I'm playing Adam, my Doc and Jock podcast co-host. I need to whoop his ass. Never last minute question. Do you think this man-to-man style causes too many injuries? I think the practices, if it's one side of the ball, think about it. They got to block. They got to grind. They're taking the brunt of it. I think the defense is getting shell-shocked by all the practices against St. Brown and Laporta. They're getting blocked. You don't think that DJ Reed gets blocked by Laporta in practice? Little banging here and there, a little physicality. Yeah, I think the Lions defense is not as physically stout and physically strong as the offense. And they're getting worn down. You're not seeing this from Sewell. Decker a little bit is getting the love of not practicing. But they're wearing down. But you have to practice. Oh, bees. Who the hell? They got to throw it to Ferguson. Dak to Ferguson. I don't care. Get Eric. That's the guy. I showed everybody It was great to meet you. Good to see you today. Just got home. What's the word on our corners? More likely that Terrion plays than Reed is not playing against the Bengals. Reed is out, per Dan Campbell. We'll see the severity tomorrow. That's when Dan talks-ish. We were talking about it earlier. You can rewind it. The last hour spent kind of, we might put up a story tomorrow about some corners that maybe the Lions will look at. But right now it's Amik and Terrion, unless he's out. But there could be a question mark. Do you want C.J. Gardner-Johnson back? But he's a safety. Maybe you move Branch to, around nickel spot. Amik on the outside, Terrion. What do we do? What do you think, Eric? Let us know in the comments. I'm about to hop off, but it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad your drive was safe. Eric's a good luck charm. 34-10. They balled out for Eric. I did not share what you told me when we first met. I laughed. That was funny. Objects in the mirror appear shorter than they really are in real life. Much love, Eric. Thank you. It was my pleasure. Oh, and Eric, I didn't tell. You got to go back and listen. I shared a couple of fun stories. A couple of ladies asked me to try to get them a badge to get into the game. For the third time this year. Is it a sign? Go back, share a laugh. Remember the rule. Hour of hardcore football talk, 5 minutes of fun stories. Thanks, everybody. We'll recap it more. Like I said, I'm going to hit up the Dayquil. I'm going to watch some football. We're going to come back probably Tuesday, Wednesday. Lions, big topics today. Hit the comments about what's your biggest takeaway from the game. Offensive line, how impressive are they? Amon-Ra St. Brown's unstoppable. Is the St. Brown-Goff tandem number one in the league? All good things to comment on. The secondary is hit hard by injuries. What do we do? Lions are not going to have DJ Reed next week. What do you think about Terrion, another game? More flags. Branch, more flags. Hit those comments. Thank you. And JMO. One-off? Level of concern. I thought it was a good hour. Thank you. A little bit of entertainment. Go Lions, 3-1. Great first quarter of the season. And for fun, if there's a question you want me to ask Dan Campbell this week, I don't know if I'm going to go tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow might be a day I just need to sleep. Just sleep all day, get all the content up by noon, and just decompress. That week was tough on me physically. I'm old. I said last time that traveling is a young person's game. And plus, too, I'm around kids. There's volleyball, there's soccer, the travel. So germs are all around me. I got to clear up the germs. But with that said, that was a good 75 minutes. I hope you liked it. Good chance to just let loose. Get your comments out. Please like the 400 people that watched it. I really do appreciate it. Much love. Thanks, everybody. Let's talk soon. This has been the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast on SI, made possible thanks to the great company on SI, a Sports Illustrated media channel covering the Detroit Lions. Bye, everybody.